Okay, Dionysius, pay attention. Or as we used to say in Hebrew school, ponga atención a mí. Haz exactamente lo que yo te diga, which means pay attention to me, do exactly as I say. Now, I am not chucking this extension into my variable speed Makita driver drill to use the extension on a fastener of any kind. I wanted to show you how I very rapidly achieve polish and symmetrically. Of course, I have my grinder here. Well, it could be a grinder, but it's a bumper set up with some if I get the bit, well, and it did a great job. Okay, now the other thing I want to show you, this is not a one-trick pony video. You must buy these Aocoom bits that I recently got in. Not bits, what am I talking about? Sockets. These sockets are better than magnetic grip sockets. They use, let me take one out, a big one. They use a pair of ball bearings under spring tension to grip any, in this case, what is this? This is a 19 millimeter fastener. And that means aluminum, which is obviously not magnetic, whatever you like. And by the way, because it's not magnetic, you can always maneuver in places and not worry about picking up metal filings or, the annoyance of being stuck to one side of the engine or another. And of course, you'll never lose a nut or the bolt that you're moving. You must have this, especially if there's any chance of, things falling into places where you can't get them and then they cause trouble, right? So you must get these. Now, they're not inexpensive, but you're a man of means. Plus, you've got famous children. Come on. Don't bellyache. You're belly aching, I can tell. No. You get these if you know what's good for you. Now, the other thing, I was changing my spark plugs today, which incidentally cured what otherwise sounded to be like uneven hitting of cylinders. Here's another thing I did. I found need to use my ginormous extension, right? But at a certain point in time, I was loosening my fastener just, without the socket, just spinning it out real fast by grabbing onto the extension. Why didn't I first wrap the opposite end from the drive side with self-sealing silicone tape? This is fantastic stuff. Self-sealing or self-adhesiving, whatever the word is, can't speak today, tape is available in all sorts of places on Amazon. You can even get a nice roll of it inexpensively from Harbor Freight. And when it sticks to itself, it literally fuses. Over time, if you were to cut this open and take a look at the cross-section, you'd see that every interface between the layers is now one piece of rubber. It's fantastic. And of course, it's much better grip than the short section of knurling that was on this thing. And I've added it to others as well. I think I've got it somewhere. Where did I put it? That doesn't matter. But, oh yeah, here it is. Look, again, that's the operating end. From this end, I can put a little, I can put a lot, I can cover the whole stuff, etc. Of course, if you're worried about rusting, all that will rust is what's exposed. And if you basically tape up the whole damn thing, you'll be able to grip it any point along the shaft, and that will be protected. Here's another thing. Stop buying standard locking pliers as trademarked vice grips. Nonsense. Single-handed action is what you need. These are from an American company, although I'm sure they make them abroad. Armor Tool. Got them on the net, on sale. They were not expensive at all. They're more expensive than vice grips, but they're much better. Let's see if I can zoom out here. When you get this, and I've set this for high tension, once you get this set, okay, of course it stays. You release it the friendly way, the European way, by squeezing this, and it comes apart. Single-handed action once again. Now here's the key to it all. This mechanism you see here, with that knurled ring, you adjust the pressure you want when the thing is locked. But when locking, you can find this to lock on any position. Once it sees resistance, it then goes into its locking mode. You never have to adjust the screw that's not in the back. Isn't that a pain in the ass removed? Yes, it is. Now you're beginning to know why you pay attention to my videos. Haz exactamente lo que yo te diga. The other things I want to show you is, let's see here, where did I put them? Ah, yes, get yourself a pair of these off the net at Amazon. These are made by Tsunoda in Japan, and they make all sorts of great cutters and pliers and such. But what's brilliant about these is toward the fulcrum, if you can see it, maybe you can't, there's a gripping area where you can, when I close it, you see the serrations, where you grip your twist tie and you rock on the curved, you can see it's a curved surface here. You rock on that to draw the excess toward you and tighten progressively the zip tie. Then when you're happy that you've got the right tension on that zip tie, you use the forward end, which is razor sharp, and cuts that thing flush. You know that if you don't do things like that, you typically get a very sharp end at the end of the finished cable tie, and you can cut yourself. And they're sharp as razors, what's left in plastic there. So this guarantees with one tool, you can achieve a perfect tight application of the cable tie and trim it up for safety's sake. Forget about other people. You're the one who's going to go back into that engine bay and slice your hand open with some cable tie you applied some time ago, but sloppily so. All right, and lastly, this thing is a mess, but if you're interested and don't yet have silicone trays like this, which can be actually draped over a hot engine and serve as a tool collector, get the set. It comes with this big one and then 2 inserts. If you're interested, just ring me up and send me an email, and I'll be able to respond to it. While I see it here is a different product, which is very interesting. It's made by yet another Japanese company that goes by the initials IPS. And these are actually old-fashioned slip joint pliers, which have 2 settings. This is the close setting, but notice the removable, replaceable plastic inserts. Use this whenever I want to grab something that I can grab well with only plastic pressure. But when I don't want to mar something, I use these. I got all sorts of tools that you need to get. Because I don't think I've told you this yet, but it is a rule of the universe. He who dies with the most tools wins. So keep that in mind. I'll be sending you more of these unless you tell me, stop bothering me. Go away, kid, you bother me. Write song music. Don't focus on mechanic stuff. I know everything already. I am Dionysius, god of antique cars. Well, if you say that, then I'll shut up. Otherwise, I'm gonna keep on talking, right? All right. And by the way, this is the wreck that I'm so proud to get. It's a year 2000 Tacoma with a V6 motor in it. So it's got the powerful 230 horse motor, and it came in very good shape. Lots of parts had been recently replaced. Yeah, it had like 220,000 miles on it, but this is a Toyota. That's just breaking it in. It shows signs of age in, for example, that. I fixed it. It also had a set of wheels that I didn't like because it had all pitted up. I shined them up nicely, laboriously, but then I decided to paint them. There's a technique whereby you can paint them so well, it's as if they had been professionally painted. It also came with one of these roof racks, so I can, if I have to, I can become a common laborer. I know what you're thinking. I always was common. Well, listen, I was born of humble beginnings, and only late in life did I become stupendously wealthy. Oh, and this is the other thing. Before I moved here in 2018, my favorite mechanic, who's an expert on Toyotas and Lexuses and such, very reasonably priced, his son, who was working in the shop at the time, still is, had this thing, a 1999 LX470. So basically a gussied up Land Cruiser. And he surprised me one day. He said, "Would you like to buy it?" Turns out I was thinking, what will I drive when I get to my property? And I said to him, "Mike, are you sure you want to sell me this car? I mean, because this car is fantastic." I told him, I have a year 2000 that basically looks the same in white, which I'm leaving here in Santa Cruz for when I return to California. And I know these things are bulletproof. They will last forever. And he said, "Yeah, I know, but I find I'm not using it, and it's not my only car." And I suppose he needed some money. So after doing the right thing, trying to dissuade him as a friend to keep it, I said, "Okay, how much do you want?" He said 12,000, and because he's such a good person, I didn't even negotiate with him. In those days, in 2018, I could have whittled down the price. I didn't want to. It's not the right way to behave. So he sold me this thing, and although it had 190-ish thousand miles, 195 maybe, it ran as new, and to this day runs as new. It's amazing. Of course, it's a gas guzzler. You're lucky if you get 16 miles per gallon. But if you see one of these, and if you need a serious off-roader, snap it up. Don't buy a more modern 570. Too many frills. Ugly spacecraft look. Disgusting. Get one of these old-timers. You'll save money because it's by definition an older machine. Anything between 1999 and 2003, that's what you need to get. Not only will it probably run like a top and be safe and take you anywhere you want to go if you put the right tires on it, which is to say tires like those, you take off the runners here because an off-roader always dings them up anyway. You will have a car that runs as long as you want to keep it. When you decide to sell it, you will get for it what you paid for it. Because I predict by the time these things get old, quote unquote, like the old FJ series, they will become the collector's item that today the FJ 40s and 60s and 80s are. So you will have basically gotten the car for free. Take my advice. I'm never wrong. Epa! I take that back. Years ago, I thought I made a mistake, but upon further investigation, no, I was in error. Okay, so this is not an ugly house, but until I get thoroughly settled in, and no one's here but me at the moment, I'm allowing it to be ugly, okay? Pretend you didn't see this part of the movie, because if you and your family are going to come here, you don't want to live in a slum, right? I'll fix it up for you, I promise. Bye-bye for now. Long movie, 14 minutes. Woo! This'll take forever to upload. I'll pay extra money because you're Dionysius and you need special treatment, kid glove treatment. After all, you're a giant, easily toppled. I don't want to do anything to harm you.